So 2 disclaimers before we get started. One, I got my Invisalign on Tuesday, so if you see my teeth look a little weird, I'm wearing the trays right now, so just ignore that. And if I ever have a lisp at all, sometimes it comes and goes. And also I'm dog sitting, so there are 2 lovely dogs, one here and one here. So if they're a little annoying, they shouldn't be. When I filmed my other video today, they were pretty calm, so let's just put you back over there. Anyway, I realized that I have never reviewed Saw, any of the Saw movies ever. And if you know me, I love the Saw films and I've just been obsessed with them since they started coming out back in the day. I was 14 when this first became popular. Why are you licking me? Basically, they came out around Halloween time, just like Paranormal Activity did in the later years, and it's been almost 11 years since the first Saw movie came out. It came out in 2004, and the director was James Wan, who also made movies like The Conjuring and Insidious, but Saw, the first one, is his debut film, which I thought was very interesting, and he did an amazing job on this film. So I thought I would start in the beginning and go all the way back to 2004 for Saw 1. And yes, I will be reviewing every single one separately, so this will start a Saw series, I guess you would say, on this channel, and yes, I will follow through with it, I promise. And they will be spaced out, so they're not going to be all 7 back to back. I'm going to review them sporadically here and there, in addition to other films as well. So if you've never seen Saw, which, you know, hopefully a lot of you have, I'm going to give a little plot synopsis, but mostly I wanted to talk about the film as a whole and in general, and some of the trivia about it. I love the trivia about it and just the facts about it. So it's basically about a guy named Jigsaw who sets up these traps or games that the people have an opportunity to survive. They just have to put themselves through some pain in order to survive. So he believes that everyone has this strong will to live, and so he puts that to the test, and he thinks that people cannot appreciate the true value of life until they look death in the face. So this film starts out and mostly follows 2 men who wake up in this room, and they are, you know, attached to the pipes, and they have no idea what's going on. There's a dead man in the middle of the floor who has shot himself, and there's like a tape recorder. Each of the takes when the men are in the room were actually, there were no rehearsals for at all. What the film was made from was their actual takes. That was the first time that they had ever acted out these scenes, because there was no rehearsal, and they used it in the film, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, the way this was filmed, the camera work in itself was so cool and creative. So they wanted Adam's character to really, well, the camera work to really reflect his emotions, and so they used a steady controlled camera shot for all of his takes, and then for his counterpart Adam, they used handheld shots to capture his emotions, because he was kind of more the sporadic one and the more, like, you know, anxiety one. Also, the puppet that is so famous that rides a little bicycle was made from scratch, and it wasn't like a doctored puppet. So one thing I had an issue with, and I don't know if anyone else has really talked about it, but it's my #1 pet peeve about Saw 1 in the world. Every single trap in every movie of the Saw franchise, the person has to inflict pain upon themselves. There's only one where they don't have to, and that is the only one, okay, loosely only one, where they survive, and that is Amanda. And I don't know why it has not been brought up, but I think the sole reason she survived, granted she was in pain because she was in the bear trap thing, you know, contraption, but she had to cut open her friend there and dig through his intestines to find, which was a pig uterus by the way, find the key to her little head thing. She did not have to inflict pain upon herself in order to get out of that situation, which irked me so bad, because every other person in the world in this movie has to do something to themselves, cut their eye open, whatever, do whatever to save themselves, and she did not. So that really, really bothered me, because I just don't know why people don't, I've never heard people talk about it and like why it doesn't annoy them, but then she like survives it, and that's the reason. It's because she had to do it to someone else, which I understand can be very hard in itself, but I think it is more difficult to cut yourself open than someone else. Now, I don't think this was an original torture porn film by any means, and James Wan actually didn't intend for it to be that kind of series or franchise or whatever. And he wasn't the director on the second one, but it wasn't until the second one that they really started to exploit the whole torture aspect of it, because the first one is the most tame out of all of them, I would say. So if you want to get into Saw, obviously start with the first one. Anyway, just know that the first one is the least gory, and it's still kind of gory at times. And to this day, Saw 1 will always be one of my favorites of the series. Some of my other, sorry, the lisp thing is funny. Some of the other ones that I really like are 4 and 5 and 3. Those are my other favorites. 2, I just saw too many times. Saw too many times. That's so funny. But I'll get more into those as we continue with this series. So hopefully you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. Let me know what you think about Saw. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I understand. I love gore. I love, when I'm in the mood for a gore fest type of movie, I will either watch this or Final Destination or, you know, one of those films, because the plot is kind of lacking a little bit in this series, but the first one has the strongest plot out of all of them, I would say. And there were rumors back in the day when it kind of first came out, back when I was in high school. I remember hearing that there was supposed to be 10 in this series, and they ended up stopping at 7, which I'm thankful for, because I feel like they shouldn't exploit, you know, their whole industry if it's not going to be good. And I feel like they could have stopped at 6 and just completed the plot in that one, and it would have been fine. Can you not hit the camera? But I'm grateful for them stopping when they did, as much as I would have loved 3 more movies of torture porn. So that's it. That's all I have to say for Saw number 1. Hopefully you look forward to this series, and let me know what you think about it. Make sure to leave some requests down below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.